I'm Josh Light with PoliticIt.com. I'm here in North Carolina with Denis Marker. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing great, Josh. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Tell us about why you're at the event today.
Well, I'm here because it's Progressive Democrats of America, and I'm very supportive of that organization. But specifically, I've been talking about my new book, 15 Steps to Corporate Feudalism, how the rich convinced America's middle class to eliminate themselves. And so I'm really working hard to get the message out that the middle class is not only being eliminated, but it's being eliminated systematically, and if we don't change course, we're not going to have a middle class in a very short number of years.
How's the middle class being eliminated?
Well, what I do in the book is I talk about 15 separate steps that have taken place since the election of Ronald Reagan that are working together to convince the middle class to eliminate themselves. For example, the control of the mainstream media. And the control of the mainstream media has taken place in many different ways. One, buying it, deregulating it, allowing one corporation to own more and more of the media. Another thing I talk about is what I call Foxaganda, the Fox News network, which in fact is not news at all, but is one-sided propaganda which has convinced millions of people to believe something that's completely false. Up is down, black is white. Destroying the unions. One of the things people don't understand in this country is that before we had labor unions, we did not have a middle class. And once the unions are gone, we won't have one. And anyone who doubts that can try to find a country anywhere in the world that has a middle class that does not have strong unions. What you'll find out is they don't exist. That's the first 3 steps out of 15.
So we'll have to read your book to find out the rest?
Well, I'm happy to. I can keep on going. I'm not like Rick Perry. I can do more than 3 things. The 4th step I talk about is teaching people to hate their government. And we could see this when the Tea Party came out. There was people holding up signs saying, "Keep the government out of my Medicare." Well, Medicare is a government program, but people have been so programmed to hate their government that they're illogical. The same thing now they're talking about they don't want health care. Is that a ridiculous concept to say, you know, we're voting for someone because they're trying to give us health care? The rest of the developed world not only has a healthy respect for their government, because the government is the one institution that has any middle class input that can actually control giant corporations. If you get rid of the government, it's like getting rid of the strong sheriff in the old Western. You get rid of the strong sheriff and then the rancher can do whatever he wants. That's really what we're looking at. And so another step I talk about is global free trade. What I say in the book, and I think it's become obvious, is you cannot have a middle class if you have a global free trade. And why is that? Because if you tell a corporation in the United States that you can hire a worker in Saipan to work for $3 a day and then ship the product back to the United States and have someone at Walmart selling it for minimum wage, where's the middle class in that? They don't exist. And so the more of these steps that we pursue, and we have been pursuing, the worse off our middle class is going to be.
And how are you using social media to promote your book?
Unfortunately, not enough. I mean, as I said, well, I told you, Josh, I have not worked for several years. I've been raising my son. I've been a stay-at-home dad. I've taken him around the world. We went to China to learn Chinese, been to Central America to learn Spanish. And so I'm not too up to speed. So I have Facebook. I have a YouTube page. I actually do on YouTube, I do puppet shows. It's called, moneypuppets.com or Money Puppets. The Money Puppets is my YouTube page, and I do these little funny puppet shows. And, you know, we're doing the regular stuff, Facebook, but I haven't gotten as good as I need to.
How's Obama doing in the race?
I think that he's doing very well. I mean, never in history, and we've heard some speakers talk about this, never in history have we had a president, the moment he gets into office, the other side says, we're going to do everything we can to get him out of office. They didn't say, we're going to do what we can to increase jobs or to help the economy. They said, specifically, we're going to do everything we can to get rid of this president. And that means a lot of what Obama's tried to do, he's been thwarted from doing because you have one party saying no, the party of no. And so given that, I think he's doing remarkably well. But still, it's going to be a hard race because of things like Fox News and the 15 steps I talk about in this book, where you have loads of people ready to vote against their own interests.
Well, thanks for meeting with us today.
Thank you very much, Josh. Had a good time.